Hey guys, Station X here, and today we're going to be bringing back a video series I used to do called Video Game Showcase. And if you're new to this series or just don't remember what it is, basically I take a look at a video game that's in my collection that I thought was either kind of weird, a little interesting, or just cool to kind of look at and talk about. Basically, I do a rundown of the front cover and back. I take a look at the disc and just kind of give a quick summary of what the game's about. And in this video game showcase, we're going to be specifically looking at Soul Calibur 3 for the PS2. And I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves me, it's PS2 exclusive. Like, this didn't come out on original Xbox, didn't come out on GameCube, and certainly didn't come out on Dreamcast. Which is funny because that's where the series was born. The first Soul Calibur was only on the Dreamcast, and then, well, at least home console at least. I know it was on arcades and stuff. And the, home release of Soul Calibur 2 kind of was like the opposite of 1 and 3, where it released on everything. It was on original Xbox, it was on PS2, and it was on GameCube. Unfortunately, the Dreamcast kind of bit the dust by then, but that one was cool because it also had guest fighters, and so, each console had its own exclusive one, Link being the GameCube, Spawn being original Xbox, and forgive me if I'm mispronouncing this, but Hisashi from Tekken. I know I butchered it, but still, he was also a guest fighter in that as well. But with Soul Calibur 3, I don't remember if there was a guest fighter. They usually have him on the front cover. I probably just don't recognize who it is, but I'm pretty sure this one did not have a special guest fighter. But this one is a pretty interesting one just because it was one of the few, other than the first one, to just be kind of exclusive to one system. Because after that, 4, 5, and 6 were basically on all the major platforms. And if they didn't release on something like the Wii, for example, like they would have like their own kind of special Soul Calibur. Like PSP also had a Soul Calibur, and same thing with the Wii and so on. But with this one, here's the front cover of it. Here is the spine. And then here's the back. If you wanted to read this whole thing, just pause the video right here, and you can just read that whole thing there. But something I also wanted to point out here is that on this corner here, you have new character creation, which in this one, you could create your own character and kind of customize it, which was not a thing in the first two. So that was another interesting feature that was added to Soul Calibur. And here in the inside of the case, of course, we do have the manual with it, which is pretty neat, as well as a bonus disc. Now, this was a demo disc, which I'm not really sure what's on the demo disc, but it says Namco Transmission V3.2, and of course it has like the rating pending / T rating. And then of course we have the game itself, and I just love this THX logo on here. Basically, if you're someone who grew up in the early 2000s, you saw this a lot, and this brings back a lot of memories, especially when you're you're watching movies and stuff. And then here we have the manual, which of course is always fun to look at. Games don't really come with manuals anymore, of course, since the internet's been like a big factor of that. It's just cheaper and easier to just not put a manual in there, but it's always nice to see them when they pop up. And of course, there's obviously just shows like how to play it and just basic info of the game itself. But that'll pretty much be it as far as me talking about Soul Calibur. I just wanted to kind of talk about it and a little bit, and just kind of bring back the showcase series. I do want to bring this back a little bit more, but not to like a full-flown extent like I was doing before, where I was posting these quite often. I'll bring this back every now and then when I find something kind of really like cool to show off on camera, because there's certain games I think just kind of deserve a bit of spotlight, and I don't really hear a lot of people talking about Soul Calibur in particular, the third one. It's always 2 that gets the spotlight. But that'll be it for today. I've been Station X, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.